Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's very exciting P2P shop drop video. So I have a lot of products to share with you guys today. Today is a very big launch day, that is for sure. We are going to be launching all of our brand new academic products, and let me tell you, this has been a long time coming. I had wanted to release some academic products last summer, but unfortunately just did not have the time to get to them, and finally, I have some products to share, and it has definitely been a labor of love. A lot of research and time has gone into these products, so of course I hope you love them. This is going to probably be a longer video because there's a lot to get through, as you are about to see. So I'm going to throw some timestamps into the video, hopefully just to make it easier to jump to the section that you want to see. Also, a little disclaimer. I apologize for my hands. I've been making a lot of sourdough this week. I found it to be very therapeutic, and I'm not gonna lie, I've been a little stressed. And so, not just because of like work and stuff, there's just been a lot going on over here. And so yeah, my hands are just really dry, and I think I've got some flour like stuck in my nails and stuff like that. So just wanted to apologize for that in advance. But yeah, as I mentioned, so much to share with you guys. So as I mentioned, I am going to put some timestamps into the video just to make it easier. I have homeschooling stuff to share with you guys, teacher goodies, and students products as well. And this is just the start, you guys. There was more that I wanted to create, but it makes more sense to create those things because they're going to kind of tie into the 2024 planner system, which I cannot wait to start working on, by the way. So it makes more sense to release those things later on. And honestly, timing wise, like, there was just not enough time to squeeze everything in, but I have tons of inserts to share with you guys. These little folders over here are not new releases. They're there for demonstration purposes. So anyone who's newer to the channel or to my shop in general, I'm going to kind of share with you how the inserts work. So we have lots of inserts, we have new sidekicks, and of course we have a sticker book as well. So I'm going to start with the sticker book, and let me jump over to the cover. So of course this is a back to school sticker book, and it is just absolutely precious. I love the color scheme, the art, everything about this just is so cheerful, and I am definitely planning to use this for August when I do my monthly plan with me and everything. You guys will see this come back out, but I have been so excited to share the sticker book. This is sticker kit 33, so I know there was some confusion with the order of things. I had to rearrange sticker books, so I think we will be on track officially now. I'm pretty sure, because yeah, sticker kit 34, I want to say, got released before this one, but anyways, everything should be back to normal now. So let's take a look. If you are new here and you're not familiar, this is a split screen hyperlinked sticker book, so you can have the sticker book off to the side. I am using an iPad. This is a iPad Pro 12.9 inch, and I use GoodNotes primarily for digital planning, but it's a hyperlinked PDF. There's individual PNG files as well for those who do not use GoodNotes and everything, and then I also provide a blank, you know, sticker book shell for those who do not use GoodNotes as well if you want to store your stickers in them. But this is a GoodNotes file, so it is hyperlinked, so all the tabs over here are hyperlinked. We have date dots and numbers, we have months and days of the week, washi, labels, functional stickers, icons, scrapbook stickers, budget stickers, deco, and widgets. For the sake of time, I'm not going to share every single page. There's quite a bit of detail on the listing itself if you want to get a closer look. I'm just going to share just some main like pages and things like that, just because, like, yeah, for timing purposes. It's almost 4:30 here, and this video needs to go up tomorrow morning, and I was up really late, like till like, I don't know, in the wee hours of the night last night working. So yeah, so we're just gonna kind of breeze through it a little bit. Let me go ahead and share with you the date dots and numbers. So these are the deco dots. It's a little stack of Post-its here. All of our stickers are pre-cropped, so it makes them really easy to use. And then they're also compressed, which helps with file size and stuff like that. So you get tons of different date dot options. translucent numbers that are always fun to use, and then months and days of the week. So I'll kind of just flip through those. As I mentioned, I'm not going to show every single page, but I wanted to share some of the main pages. So here's some weekend stickers, and then of course the washi is always a focal point of the kit. It just brings everything together. So here are the washi options. We have some florals in there, those little backpacks and shoes, and everything is just so cute. And look at that floral pattern. It's just precious. I love it. And then some more school supplies there. Of course, some glitter, paper clips, more glitter. So that is the washi. Here's the second set of washi with just straight edges. So I'll kind of scroll through there so you can see there's the solid colors. You always get the hex codes at the bottom here so you can get your pens and highlighters to match your kit, which is really nice. So let's see, so that's the washi. I'll share the labels. So here are the pattern labels. I'll kind of scroll through those so you guys can see them. The full boxes give a really good picture of the designs in the kit and everything. And then for labels, you get light mode, dark mode, two-tone, solid, and miscellaneous. So there's the light mode and just appointment labels, arrows, flags, all those types of, like, you know, really functional solid, I was looking at the word solid. Really functional labels. Here are the solid labels. There's also translucent ones that I use all the time. Here's some miscellaneous labels with just various things on them, like day off and half day and things like that. And then let's see, so for functional, you get check it off, which are just a bunch of checklists, as you can see, and then some trackers, sticky notes, weather icons, or weather stickers, and then moons as well. So a lot of different functional options. You also can look at previous new release videos if you do want a really in-depth look at everything. Definitely check that out. In those videos, I tend to go over them in more detail, but we just, again, have so much to get through in this one that I'm like, okay, I need to actually hurry it up a little bit more. So here are the icons. And all those colors together are just beautiful. I love, love, love the color scheme. And then we have scrapbooking stickers, which includes frames, tape, pins and clips, and torn paper. I'm using these all the time. In fact, I just did a memory keeping plan with me where I used a bunch of different scrapbook stickers from another kit. Then we have budget stickers and we have deco. So the deco I definitely want to share with you guys. So I'll zoom in. So we've got some quotes and little lines and just school supplies, never stop learning. All sorts of things here, the paper clips, the florals, school time, first day. I just love the deco in this kit. There's abstract deco, and then there's also widgets. So for the widgets, you get access to over 100 widget inserts that you layer on top of these widgets here. And there's a ton of variety offered, again, over 100 of them, and they come with black script and as well as white script. So the white script's really great for layering on top of like those darker colors and things like that. So there's dark mode widgets, two-tone, and then there's also the solid colors. So that is what is packed into these sticker books. Over 1,200 stickers come in here, and yeah, so that's the back to school sticker kit. Super exciting. I am obsessed. Again, check out the listing photos if you want to get like a closer look and everything. But now let's go ahead and go to the homeschool. I'll just kind of go in alphabetical order. So this is the homeschool sticker kit, and this particular sidekick is what I meant to say. See, I just had a little bit of caffeine, but I'm telling you, my brain is so tired. So just forgive me for that. But okay, so here's the homeschool sidekick. So you get 15 blank dividers. I made this to where you can customize it very, very easily. So here's a divider here, and at the bottom you'll see there's a button for templates. And on this main page as well, there's a button for templates down here. So this is really great if you have a bunch of kids and you want, you know, one divider for each kid, or I have 2 girls, and so I'd use a divider for each girl, and then there's a bunch of different templates to pick from. You can always put a white square over any buttons or dividers you don't use. So that just makes that a little bit easier, and then like throw some deco and stuff in there. That's probably what I'm gonna do, because I don't think I'll need all 15 dividers, but I wanted to provide a lot of dividers just in case there are those who have a lot of children. So 15 dividers, and then all of these templates. And of course I'm going to share with you all the templates. There are a ton, a ton of templates, over 60 of them. So here's the little template page. All of these are hyperlinked, so if I tap on a section, it's going to take me to that template. Anytime you tap on the top of a page, it's going to take you back to this main page here. And then again, tap on templates to get there. And then tap on the divider, it's going to take you to that divider. You label it, and then you insert your templates behind the divider. So if you're familiar with the No Frills Planner, the Jane system, this is very similar, but in Sidekick form. So, and I'll show you how to insert a template behind a divider. It's super, super easy. So let's check out all the templates. So we have an activity planner, so this is really great. For example, my oldest, she takes piano. We're looking into gymnastics for both the girls. So you have a spot to put the name of your child, the grade or level that they are in, and then the year, the activity, the date. So I know like for Maddie's drama club, it just runs certain dates. And then you can put the location, the time that it meets, and then the cost. And then you can kind of highlight the days that you meet for the activity, and then you can write in what your goals are for that activity, any supplies you need or equipment, and then a little spot for notes as well. So that comes in Monday and Sunday start. And then we have an attendance record. So for my state, I live in Arizona, we don't have to take attendance or anything like that, but I know there are plenty of states that do. And then overseas, I'm sure there's also some places that require like tracking your hours and things like that. So I wanted to be sure to include this. So there's a spot to put the child's name, grade level, year, and then you can kind of just mark, you can either color code or put a little check mark for each day that they attended homeschool for the year. And that comes in a January to December, July to June, August to July, and September to August. And I did that because people tend to start their homeschool years at various points in the year. One of those months, I know we're starting in August, I know some people that start in September, so I just wanted to provide options for that. And then there's a bucket list. So if you have a bucket list for your homeschool year, maybe there's some certain sites you want to go see for field trips and things like that. There's a spot where you can put in a picture of the bucket list item, write it in, and then check it off once it's done. And any of these pages, by the way, you can always duplicate. So if you need more than 8 spaces for your bucket list, it's really easy just to duplicate the page and have as many as you would like. And then we have curriculum progress. So you have a little spot here to write in the curriculum. So for example, we're using the Good and the Beautiful primarily. So I'd write in the Good and the Beautiful. I would put, you know, math, level 3, year 2023, and there's 120 lessons for Maddie's math that we're going to be teaching. So I would just fill in each square as I'm going through. These are lessons. So there's 1 all the way to 180 lessons, because I think there's one curriculum company in all of my research that I found that had up to 180 lessons. So yeah, so lots of spots for that. And I think that'll be really helpful too, just to kind of track where we're at with each, you know, item for the curriculum. And then there's a spot for curriculum review. So you can write in the curriculum, the subject, the level, the year, and if you're going to keep that curriculum or if you want to replace it with something else, you can write in what we liked as a family, what we did not like, and then also what we accomplished, and then some additional notes at the bottom. Then there's curriculum to buy. So you can write the name of the child, the level, the year, the subject, and then what item you want to get and the cost, and then check it off if it's been purchased, or you can write in the date that it was purchased, whatever works best for you. Then there's daily planning. So there's a spot to put in the child's name, their grade or level, the date. You can circle what day of the week it is. And then you can write in the subject and then the lesson or activity for that subject throughout the day, any supplies or materials that are needed, and then notes as well. So I'm really looking forward to using that page in particular, because I know for some of our lessons, that we're gonna do. I've looked through a lot of the curriculum we have already because it started finally coming in this week. And you know, you need like extra supplies like little pom-poms or like, you know, some coins or buttons or just different manipulatives for math, things like that, or like science experiment type of stuff. So that will be really helpful for that. And then that comes in Sunday Start as well. There's also a daily schedule. So you have a spot to put name, grade level, date, circle the day, and then a place to write in the time and the event or activity. So if you'd rather do some time blocking, you can do it that way as well. And Sunday Start. And then there's an event planner. So if you're doing, I know like poetry tea time is a big thing in the homeschool community. So that's something that I'm hoping that we can do too. And then some people will put on like little like dances for homeschool families in their community. We have a ton of homeschooling families in our neighborhood, which is really nice. And our kids are all very similar ages. So we might like get together for a picnic or a play date or something like that. So you can put in like the event, the date, the time, the location, the cost, and then kind of plan it out with food and drink, decor and other items needed, activities and notes. Then there's family subjects. So these are things like for us, we're gonna be doing history and science as family subjects as well as Bible time. So you can put in like the school year, the subject, and then there's a nice big blank space where you can kind of plan it out. You know, like you could write in what curriculum you're using or activities you want to do, just different things like that. And then there's field trip information. So if you're doing a little field trip, you can write in the date, the location, the address for that location. So this would be like, you know, I'm going to the zoo. This is the address. There's a little spot to put in your trip prep, what you learned, your overall thoughts, and then some notes there at the bottom. And then first and last day pictures, of course. I feel like those are so important. I cannot wait to take ours. So that's our first and last day template. There's a grade tracker. So if you need to keep track of grades, I know that's pretty common for high school students. There's a spot to put in name, the grade level, year, subject, the final grade, and then all of the different, you know, assignments or assessments and everything like that. Then we have homeschool goals, and my throat just got so scratchy out of nowhere, so I'm trying to not cough. I should probably grab my water. Don't mind me. Okay, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna be doing a lot more talking in this video, so I'll have my water handy. So homeschool goals, you can write in the year, and then these are just some blank spots. You could put in, you know, the name of your child. You could do like different categories, like, you know, we want to reach this level in math, or we want to learn to read this level book, or whatever it might be. So, or maybe it's like an extracurricular activity, and you know, something like that, or getting more involved in your neighborhood or your community, different things like that. So homeschool goals, and then your why and your mission. So why you're homeschooling, and then what your family mission statement is. So I thought that would be really fun, because there are going to be tough days, and sometimes you need that reminder, you know, this is why we're doing this. And then we have hours tracker, which is set up very similarly to the attendance tracker with the same idea. Some people need to actually track down to the hour, you know, what they are teaching and all that kind of stuff. So we have hours trackers for January to December, July to June, August to July, and then September to August. And then there's individual subjects, so set up very similarly to family subjects. You can write in the name, grade level, year, and then you can write like each subject, and then again, kind of like the curriculum that you're using or whatever you want to do there. And then there's kiddo info, so you can put a picture of your kiddo, their name, their grade level, year, and then a spot for goals, strengths, and challenges. Then we have a lesson plan, so you can write in name, grade level, year, subject, topic, and then learning objectives, materials and supplies needed, activity and or field trip ideas, and notes for that lesson. Then there's local state requirements, so this is, you know, to kind of keep track of, every state differs in terms of, you know, how regulated it is and everything. So I thought this would be really good just to check every year, really like make sure you're doing things according to whatever your state requires and stuff like that. So there's that page. Then we have login info, which will be really helpful for logging into various apps and things like that. I know the Good and the Beautiful, they use some apps for their curriculum, so the login information for that. I'm also looking into Night Zookeeper as a potential like Fun Friday activity, and that's kind of like an app game that you play on your computer, your iPad, things like that. So I thought that would be helpful. And then loop schedules. So some people do loop schedules where they kind of go through their subjects on a loop and things like that. So you can write in the year and then what subject and resource you want on your loop schedule, the date you would put, the day that you like touched on that subject resource when you taught it, and then you can mark, is it daily, is it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, and then you can write in the next due. So for example, say I wanted to do like an art study bi-weekly, and then I did one today, which today is what, the 11th? Yeah, so I'd write in 7/11 art study bi-weekly, and then it would be the 25th would be the next due. So that kind of helps you kind of keep track of when you're touching on certain things. So there's that. And then memories made, I wanted to provide that just in case you want to keep, your memories from the year in your Sidekick. Monthly planning, so this has a little spot to write in the month, and then you can date it. And then there's focus of the month, activity and field trip ideas, supplies and resources needed, and notes. I will probably date this and then kind of keep track of days that we take off and things like that, or like write in the lessons for each day. You could fill this in one for each kid if you wanted to do that. So lots of different ways you can use that. And then there's Sunday Start as well. And then we have Morning Basket. Apologies for my ice maker. I have to do that every single video. Every single one, have you guys noticed? It's crazy. Okay, so Morning Basket, the subject, the resource, and then how often you want to use the Morning Basket. I put all days of the week. I know a lot of homeschoolers just do like Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, but some do Saturday and Sunday or like weekends and stuff like that. So I wanted to provide all 7 days. And then there's the Sunday Start. And then we get into notes pages. So you get tons of different notes pages just to kind of use as you would like. So there's blank chalkboard, the ever so popular chalkboard. And then we have corkboard, dot grid. Oops, jumped around there on me. Yeah, corkboard, dot grid, and then graph paper, which I don't know if you guys can see that. I feel like I have to zoom in a little bit. And then we have craft paper, lines, and then wood. So just a bunch of different options for note taking, or if you want to do, some memory keeping or put like digital sticky notes or something on there, you could do that. Then we have progress check-ins. So I'm personally going to use this for when I mark in my calendar, okay, we should have X amount of lessons done for math by this time, and we should have X amount of lessons done for language arts by this time, and blah blah. So I'm gonna and blah blah. So I'm gonna write in the date that would be, the milestone we'd be hitting, and then any like notes, like if I am like, okay, we're kind of behind on that goal, so we need to ramp it up, or maybe you're ahead of goal, so you can kind of slow it down and take math lessons down to like 3 per week. I have a feeling my oldest loves math so much, and I have a feeling like she's gonna end up doing like 2 lessons a day just for fun. She was looking through the curriculum and she's so excited, which makes me so happy. But yeah, so you can kind of like slow it down if you need to, whatever you want to do, depending on what your goals are as a family and things like that. So progress check-in, quarterly planning. So if you plan out by quarter, you can write in the child's name, their grade or level, quarter, year, and then write in the month of each of those quarters and kind of what you have planned. Then we have a reading log. So I'm planning to use one of these for each one of my kids. Julia's not at all at the point where she's like full on reading yet, but Maddie just devours books. So I thought it'd be really fun to kind of start tracking what she's reading and all that kind of stuff, and then have her give, her rating of each book. I think that would be really fun. So there's a reading log, and then there's an annual review where you have a spot to write in name, grade level, year, what you learned, what went well, what needs to be tweaked. And we have that for monthly, quarterly, and for term as well. And then there's routine checklists. So if you just have various routines, you want to kind of keep track of them, that's a good way to do so. Then there's a school budget, so you can write in your name, the name of the child, the grade level, year, what your budget is, actual. So this is like, you know, if you want to keep track of school supplies and curriculum and just how much everything is costing and stuff like that, you can do that. Again, I'm trying to not cough. I don't know what is going on. Oh goodness. Okay, hopefully we can get through all this. Okay, so then we have subject planning. So if you want to plan out, you know, math, the level, the year, what curriculum you're going to use, the supplies that are needed, any additional literature you want to use, and some notes. Then supplies to buy. So that's another way to kind of track supplies that you need to get for your homeschool. A task list, just a general task list. Term planning, so very similar to the quarterly planning page, just if you know, prefer to go by term. Then the big picture, this is just for whatever. There's 12 boxes, so my whole idea was that you could have a box for each month, but you could use this in any way you'd like. It's very open. And then there's unit planning as well, so that this is going to be really helpful for a lot of the curriculum we use, actually. I feel like all of it practically uses units, but science is the first thing that came to mind too. So just planning out, you know, your subject, the topic, when you're going to start the unit, when your goal is to end the unit, and then activities, supplies, all that fun stuff. Then we have weekly lessons, so you can put in the subject. Maybe the subject is math, and then on Monday you're going to do lesson 13, and Tuesday you're going to do lesson 14, 15, 16. You can kind of keep track of which lessons you should be completing each week, and then any supplies that you need, and then notes as well. And then we have a general weekly overview page. So it's just like week of, with Monday through Sunday, and then Sunday through Saturday. And that covers all the templates. I wanted to share with you real quick how to use this. So hey guys, editing Stephanie here. I wanted to let you know that as I was showing this little demonstration, I wanted to make navigation a little bit easier for getting back to the main template page when you're setting up all your sections. So what I did, the same way that you tap on the top of a Sidekick page in order to get back to the first page of it, if you tap on the bottom now, it is going to take you to the main template page. So I did that in the homeschool sidekick, I did that in the teacher sidekick, and then for the student sidekick, I added the same feature for the note section. So if you tap on the bottom of a note template, it's going to take you back to the main notes page, which you guys are going to see here a little later on in the video. And then for the teacher one as well, same thing. If you tap on the bottom of a template page, it's going to take you back to the main templates. That way you don't have to tap back to the first page and then tap the templates button, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I made that little upgrade, and yeah, so you're not going to see that in action in the rest of the video, but when you receive your Sidekick, it will have that feature incorporated. Use this. So say I want to set up a section for my daughter, I would go to maybe use like the first page, I would do kiddo info. So you can just tap on the template, get to the template, navigate to it, and then tap on these three little dots up here, hit copy page. And then I'm going to put her information under divider 1. You would label it with the text tool or write it in, however you want to do it. And then you would just hit this plus symbol up here, make sure after is selected, and do paste page. And that's going to put your template right behind that divider. So when I swipe over, I'm going to get into all of my stuff for my oldest daughter. So that's kind of how I'm thinking I'm going to set things up. I may do a setup video for this, but it probably won't be on this this specific channel. It'll probably be through my membership, which has not launched yet, but just a little FYI. But if you guys are interested in seeing that, let me know. But yeah, so that is the homeschool sidekick. So I'm telling you, that's just one product. We still got a ways to go, my goodness. Okay, So the inserts, real quick, I'm gonna kind of flip through the inserts a little bit more quickly just because they're all the same pages that you're gonna have in the Sidekick, just in insert form. And the reason why I wanted to do inserts as well is just in case you don't want to use that split screen, you know, planner, I wanted you to have a different option. So I have these single subject folders pulled up just to kind of do a demonstration. So for this, I could put, you know, Maddie, my oldest daughter, at the top, and then I could use different inserts in each section. If you don't need this many pages in here, it's really easy to take your lasso and do a little screenshot of the color that is used, copy that, and then paste it, and you can very easily cover up your little tab sections here. So say I just want 25, I don't need 50. And then you could just put, you know, some pictures maybe down here, or different, you know, stickers, however you want to do it. But what you would do is you would navigate. So let's say I'm gonna go to this first page here, and I'm gonna do the kiddo info. So I'm gonna pull up my files off to the side. I'm gonna navigate to my homeschool inserts. And I'm using light mode and landscape. And as I mentioned, the inserts are going to be very similar to what you saw in the Sidekick, but of course they're going to be in insert form, so they're going to look a little different, they're going to be formatted differently. Inserts are basically transparent PNG images, so they're like giant stickers, which you're about to see. So let's say I want to put the kiddo info on this page here for my daughter. Then I would pull the insert over just like you saw. You can just drag and drop, and you can just kind of size it on the page how you want. And these size really well in these single subject folders. You've got a little bit of space off to each side, which I personally really like in case you want to put some different information in there. It kind of gives you a sidebar. But you can use these inserts in other like blank pages and planners too. So we have, you know, blank sections in our 1 month planners and in the no frills planner. So you could layer these on top of any blank page. You could put down a white screenshot just like I did with the pink with the, you know, the main tab a little bit ago. But you can basically create your own little planner using these inserts and kind of stick them where you want them to go and things like that. So I feel like these pair really great with the single subject folders. That's why the folders were created, was to help you organize your inserts and things like that. There's also insert organizers in the P2P library that you can use that have undated monthly sections as well, so you could do that. There's a lot of different ways to use these inserts, so I just wanted to kind of show you that little demonstration of how they work. I do have a more detailed tutorial for how to use inserts and things like that in the tutorials playlist of my channel, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of how those work. So now let me go over to the homeschool inserts. Now these are the landscape light mode. With one purchase you get the landscape and the portrait version of the inserts. The dark mode inserts are sold as one product, and then the light mode inserts are sold as another product. But you automatically get the landscape and the portrait with your purchase. So these are the light modes. So there's activity planner, and again, I'm just going to kind of go through these. It's a lot of the same stuff that you're tracking in your Sidekick, but in insert form. So there's attendance records, bucket list, curriculum progress, so you can kind of color in each circle where you're at, curriculum review, curriculum to buy, daily planning, daily schedule, event planner, and there's also in the listing for these, you can also find a full list of everything that's included if you're interested. There's family subjects, first day and last day. These all have transparent backgrounds, by the way, too. I should mention that. Homeschool goals, homeschool why and mission, hours tracker, and then there's individual subjects, kiddo information, lesson plan, local state requirements, login information, loop schedule, memories made, monthly planning, morning basket, progress check-in, quarterly planning, reading log, monthly review, quarterly review, term review, and annual review. Then there's routine checklists, school budget, subject planning, supplies to buy, task list, term planning, the big picture, unit planning, weekly lessons, and then weekly overview and field trip information. So there are over 50 inserts included here, all transparent, and yeah, again, you get landscape and portrait. This is the portrait dark mode, just so you can kind of see, you know, the difference and what they look like and everything. So the light mode has the black script, and then the dark mode has the white. So if you're using dark mode products or even dark colors in the background, this is really great. Anything you're supposed to color in is left white, so you can use your highlighter tool and actually have it show up, because if you try to use the highlighter on a black background, it doesn't really show up very well. So this is the portrait, and the portrait's always going to look a little different than the landscape because it's just a different orientation, different, you know, spacing and all that kind of stuff. So just wanted to share that. Okay, so those are all the homeschool products. We have dark mode inserts, light mode inserts, and a homeschool sidekick. And then we also went through the sticker book. So now let's move on to the student products. Now the student sidekick comes in both Monday Start and Sunday Start, and it's set up a little bit differently. So let's take a look at the Monday Start. So here's your main page of your student sidekick. And I'm going to zoom in so we can go through each section. So there's academic goals, a degree map, important dates, semester overview, weekly overview, daily schedule, class details, supplies and materials needed, textbooks tracker, login information, upcoming deadlines, task list, study session, group project, assignment tracker, assigned reading, reference tracker, and note taking. I set this up differently because there weren't as many like templates or pages for it, so you can just access everything from one page, which is really nice. And if there's anything that you don't use that you wouldn't have a need for, it's so easy to just cover it up. Again, all you have to do is take your lasso tool and then draw a little square or circle, do take screenshot, not save image, I meant to do take screenshot, copy, and then hold down your lasso, paste, and then let's say I don't need or want this like important dates. You can always just leave it alone, you don't have to use it, or you can cover it up and it's like it was never there. And then you can just put, you know, some decoration or however you want to do it right there. So really easy to cover it up and customize it in that way. So let's go through each page. So we're going to start with academic goals. So for this one, it says academic goals at the top, and again, this works the same way where if you tap on the top, it's going to take you back to the main page. So academic goals, you write in the year, and then there's the 5 blank sections that you can personalize and do what you would like there. Then there's the degree map, so you can write in what your degree is, the year, your beginning GPA, ending GPA, and then you have semester 1, class, the grade you received, and any notes you want to take for that. And then semester 2, class, grade, notes, and then a big spot for notes at the bottom. So you can kind of, you know, fill this out for every year for your degree, duplicate as needed. You could use one sidekick for a whole year and then, you know, download a fresh new one. Once you buy a digital product, it's yours. You can use it and reuse it as many times as you'd like. That's kind of the beauty behind it. So yeah, you can very easily do that. And then we have important dates, so you can write in the months here at the top, write in the dates, and then whatever the events are. And I left it blank so you can kind of use that in any annual format you prefer. Then we have a semester overview, so you can write in the school year, the semester, the date range for the semester, the number of credits that you are you are taking on, I guess you could say, and then the week, the dates of the week, and then any deadlines or events for that week. And there's 17 weeks here, because I know that sometimes with breaks and things like that, semesters run a little bit longer. I think the average is like 16 weeks, something like that. So there's a semester overview, then there's a weekly overview, And there's a Monday start for the Monday start option. If you use the Sunday start, this would start at Sunday and go to Saturday. And then there's a daily schedule in here as well. Really great for time blocking. And then there's class details. So there are 12 blank sections here to track 12 different classes. So when I tap on a section here, it's going to take me to that class detail page. So you can write in what the class is here at the top. And then you've got a spot to write in the instructor, the office hours, the time that the class meets, the day or days of the week that they meet, the location, in person, online. I know things have changed quite a bit since I was a student. I had some classes that were hybrid where they would meet in person and online on certain days. I know for a lot of online programs, they don't meet at specific times and days, so you can kind of just work this to however works best for you. And then the supplies and materials needed for the class. And then tracking all the assignments and exams. So the due date, the task, and then the grade you receive as well. So you can kind of put all your class details in one really convenient screenshot right there, or snapshot right there. So that's the class details, and you get, again, 12 of those. So that should be enough for an entire year. But if you ever needed an extra space, you could easily duplicate a page. And then there's the supplies and materials needed. Just an overall big list. The textbook tracker, I can never really tell if you guys can see. Sometimes this thing gets out of frame, but here's the textbook tracker. So you can write in the class, semester, and year, and then the title, author, if you're gonna buy the textbook or if you're gonna borrow it. And then if you check buy, you would put in the price. If you check borrow, you would put when it's due back. And you've got two spaces for that, but again, you can duplicate the page as much as you need to, because obviously you probably have more than 2 classes that require textbooks and things like that. So then you've got login information for your student portals and all that kind of stuff. Upcoming deadlines, I love this. So you can write in the school year, the semester, the due date, the class, the deliverable, and then check it off when it's done. So this is really just a great way to kind of keep track of, like, okay, what's coming due next? What do I need to prioritize? That kind of thing. So I love that page. Then there's also a basic task list here. And then study session, you have a spot to write the class, the semester and year, the date, when you started studying, when you ended, and then write in all of the tasks you want to get done, the priority of the task, and then mark it complete. And then there's a spot for notes at the bottom as well. Then we have group projects. So you've got a spot to write in the class, the due date, what the project is, write in all of the group members or type it in, the objectives, and then a spot to do all the task assignments. So who's responsible for what. Maybe someone's responsible for the outline and someone's responsible for the PowerPoint presentation and different things like that. I do not miss working on group projects one bit, let me tell you. And then a spot for notes as well. And then we have the assignment tracker. So for this, you can write in the class, the semester and year, and then you can kind of keep track, like, okay, this is the due date, this is the assignment, it's in progress, and then move your check mark over once it's completed, once it's submitted, and then the grade you received. And then we have assigned reading, so a spot to write in the class, semester and year, the date, title, and author, done, and then notes. So just some, and these are a little bit wider just to give you a little bit more space for each assigned reading. And then there's reference trackers too, so you can write in a quote and where the source of the quote came from. That was something that was requested for student goodies. And then we have all the note taking. So this is where you're going to get more of your custom sections, and if you wanted to, you could even copy these pages and put them behind the notes dividers too. If you wanted to do something like that, you can easily move pages around and kind of do that. But there's 10 different dividers for note taking. And then you get all these different note-taking options. So there's blank paper, chalkboard, corkboard, dot grid, graph, craft paper, lecture notes, lined paper, meeting notes, and then wood. And you can just copy and paste those behind the dividers as you would like to. And what I love personally about the Sidekick, so if I put this in portrait mode, it really blows up the Sidekick quite a bit, and I can write on it so easily. But what I love most about this is that, just to share with you guys, so let's do a little test run, shall we? I'm gonna put hello on my little sidekick here. Okay, so I've got my phone next to me and I have GoodNotes downloaded on my phone. So if I navigate over to new releases and go to the student Monday start, look at that. It's gonna pop up, and look how quick that was. It's gonna pop up the page I'm on and I can see it on my phone. I feel like this is just really, really helpful just to have, because I do have an iPad mini that I carry with me quite often, but I'm looking at my phone most often. So I feel like it's really handy to plan on your iPad and then to, you know, have your phone to reference and things like that. So that's what I personally love about the sidekicks, is just being able to look it up on my phone and have that as a reference when it's needed. That's how the note-taking section would work. You would just copy and paste behind the notes and just kind of do whatever you want to do there and everything. But I wanted to have a nice big note-taking section for you to be able to reference as needed. And that is the student sidekick. So lots of really fun functional pages, lots of ways to track things available in this particular sidekick. And then for the inserts, same thing. You're gonna find all those same similar pages that you find in the sidekick in the inserts as well. So there's academic goals, there's a degree map, important dates for January to December, as well as July to June, then semester overview, class details, supplies to buy, textbook tracker, login information, upcoming deadlines, a task list, study session, group project, assignment tracker, assigned reading, weekly overview, a daily schedule, a reference tracker, and then lecture notes and meeting notes as well. And those are all of the inserts. So there's over 20 inserts available. And again, you just have to decide, do you want light mode or dark mode? And then the single subject folders I shared with you earlier, they come in light mode and dark mode. And so you make that decision, but then you get both the portrait and the landscape version. So, so kind of going back here, here's the dark mode version of the student inserts. So that's kind of what those look like. And again, they're formatted a little bit differently just because they have to be, because the orientation's totally different in the space that you're working with. Okay, so moving right along, last but not least, we have our teacher sidekick. So here is the teacher sidekick. And for this one, you get a section for student profiles, and then you get 12 dividers, and you get your templates at the bottom here. That's gonna work very similar to how the homeschool stuff worked. So let's take a look first at the student profiles. So for student profiles, you get 3 pages of linked profiles. So you get enough space for 120 students. And everything's numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did the numbers this way in case you want to take a white square, like a white screenshot, and cover some up. I felt like that would work a lot better rather than like covering up. Yeah, it just covers up easier that way. So if I tap on a section for student profiles, so let's do like student, let's see, this is 84. There's a spot to put a picture, name, class, date of birth, age, student ID, and then contact information, communication log, and notes. And you can always insert pages behind these profiles. So if you need more space for communication log or more space for notes, my whole thought is that you can have your student profile, and then any templates that are specific to that student, just insert behind this little profile page. And I feel like that's a really great way to keep all your student information organized. So, and then as I mentioned, each divider is very similar here. You're gonna have 12 dividers with a link to the templates here at the bottom. So let's go to the templates. So here's a snapshot of all the templates that are included. Again, over 60 of them. So let's go through these. There's assignment tracker, so subject, class, and then the assignment, the date it was assigned, and then the due date. So if you want to kind of keep track that way. Then there's attendance record, so you put in the class, the month, the date, and then the name of the student goes here, and then you would maybe do like a check mark, or you could color code if they were present or absent. So in the month you could do July, today's what, Tuesday, so July 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and then pick it up right here too. So you can duplicate this page as much as you need to, kind of just to keep attendance. Then there's a behavior log. So we've got date and time, class, student, action taken, and then a spot to write some notes. There's a bell schedule, so schedule A with the time and the class period, and then schedule B down there as well. Then there's class expenses, so subject, class, month, year, date, expense, and amount. Communication log, so date and time, class, student, you can highlight if it was in person, phone, or email, and then notes at the bottom there. So that's an example of a really great page. If you wanted to, make that more student specific, you could insert that page behind their student profile. I feel like that's a really great option. Or if you just want to see all your communication in one spot, you could create a, divider just for communication. And then there's daily planning, so a spot to write the date, circle the day of the week, and then the subject, the lesson or activity, supplies and materials needed, and then notes. And then there's also daily schedule. There's an event planner, so if you're in charge of a certain event at your school, things like that, you have a spot to write in the event, the date, the time, the location, the cost, food and drink, decor and other items needed, activities, and notes. And there is a template for volunteers as well that I will share with you in just a moment. And then we have field trip information, so the date, the location, number of students attending, departing at, returning at, a spot to put any volunteers, trip details, food and other supplies needed, and then notes. And then there's a grade book, so you can write in the class up here, the name of the student here, and then your assignment up here, and then put in the grades where these little boxes are. Then there's a grade tracker, which is more of like an individual one, so you can write the name, final grade, subject, class, the date, the assignment or test, the mark, and the grade that the student received. Then there's the individualized education program. Many thanks to those of you in Facebook who helped me with this. So there's a spot to write name, class. I left it very open because, based on the feedback I received, there's a lot of different ways that people track things, so I just wanted to leave it as open as possible. But the one thing that people kept hitting on was accommodations, goals, and notes. So that's kind of what I divided that into. If one of these sections for some reason did not work for you, it'd be really easy to use that same screenshot trick. This font is called Cambria. It's a general, very basic font, very easy to find, and for free, you don't have to buy it. And if it doesn't come standard on your device, and then you can just kind of relabel that if you would like to. And then there's lesson plan, so subject, topic, class, grade, date, the learning objectives and goals, activity and or field trip plans, materials and supplies needed, homework and assessments, and notes. And then there's a login information and the Sidekick as well. A template for meeting notes. And then another version of meeting notes. So this one's more student specific, and then this one's more general. And then memories made, so if you want to take pictures of your class and field trips and things like that, you can do that. Then there's monthly planning, very similar to the homeschool one. So there's a Monday start and a Sunday start. Monthly themes, so for certain holidays and things like that, you might want to do a theme in your classroom. Maybe you want to write down some ideas of different ways that you can do that, whatever it may be. Or maybe there's a theme for the history you're teaching or whatever it may be. So I thought that would be a fun one to include. Then there's notable students. There's a column for the student's name and then any details. And then we get into notes. So there's a blank page, chalkboard, corkboard, dot grid, graph paper, craft paper, lined, and wood. So you get those options too for you know, keeping track of notes. And then there's observation notes, so subject, class, date and time observed by, and then a big nice space for notes. And again, that's just very helpful, I feel like, to have, you know, on your phone, have access to that on your phone. So the sidekicks, I would really never use my phone to like write things in. For the sidekick, I would more so plan in my iPad and then have it on my phone as a reference. So this is also helpful too if you're planning and you've got like your main planner here and you want to have your sidekick pulled up over here. Very similar to, you know, the sticker kits and stuff. If there's just things that you're planning in your main big planner and you need to reference this, it comes in handy in that way. So there's parent-teacher conference notes. So there's subject and class, the student, date and time, and then notes right there. And then a general parent-teacher conference schedule. So a spot for the subject, the class, date and time, student, and notes. And then professional development. So there's date and time, course, hours, presenters, and then notes as well. And this is another version of professional development. So you can write in the course, presenters, date and time, hours, and then any notes in this big section right here. Then we have progress check-in. So this could be another one for kind of checking, making sure you're on track with like curriculum, or you want to check in on a specific student, how they're progressing with certain things. You can write in the date, what you're checking, and then write any notes below it. And then there's resource lists, so subject and resource. So if there's just certain, you know, resources you really love or someone recommends, or, you know, whatever it may be, or you just want to have a list handy to give out recommendations to others, I feel like that's really handy. Then there's annual review, so you have the opportunity to review your year, the subject, class, the year, what you learned, what went well, what needs to be tweaked, and notes, and you have that for monthly and semester as well. Then you have routine checklist right there, school year goals, so goal setting, a seating chart. This is all just dot grid, so you can kind of make that specific to your classroom. Semester overview, so very similar to the student one where you have subject, semester, the date range of the semester, and then write in the plans and deadlines for each week of that semester. Semester planning, so you can write in the subject, class, semester, date range, the month in each semester, and kind of what you're going to be doing each month. Small group information, so there's subject, class, project, group members, objectives, and notes. Then we have special needs students, so there's a column for name and then details. Student birthdays, so this is January to December, and then there's also July to June. And then we have student health as well, so you can write in the student's name, any allergy information, medication information, and notes. Then we have student observation, so subject, class, date and time, student, and then a big old section for notes right there. Subject planning, you can write the subject, the grade, the year, and then curriculum, supplies needed, additional literature, and notes. Substitute information, so the subject and class, name of the substitute, contact information, and notes. And then there's also substitute notes, so subject, class, date, substitute, and then a big spot for notes right there as well. Supply wish list, so there's a spot to write in items, the cost, and then check it off once it's received. A general task list, the big picture, very similar to the one you saw in homeschool. Transportation details, so for this one you can write in your class the student name, if they take the bus, if they're picked up, they walk, drive, or aftercare, so you can kind of keep track of each student and how they get to and from school and stuff like that. Then there's unit planning, so subject, topic, class, start date, end date, books and resources, activity or field trip ideas, supplies and materials needed, and notes. Volunteer information, so the event, the location, the date and time, and then a column for name, responsibility, and notes. A weekly schedule, so again, very good for time blocking. And then a weekly overview, the subject you're going to teach or the topic you're going to teach on each day. And then a weekly overview Monday through Friday. And then we get into all of the student profiles and everything at the back. So that is the teacher sidekick. Oh my goodness, guys, are you hanging with me? Again, I'm gonna put those timestamps in because I know this is gonna be such a long video, my goodness. Okay, so that is the teacher sidekick. Now let's take a look at the included, or the inserts that are also sold in the shop as of today. So again, very similar templates to what you'll see in the sidekick, just offered in insert form. Different fonts are used, different style, things like that. But there's assignment tracker, attendance record, behavior log, bell schedule, class expenses, communication log, daily planning, daily schedule, event planner, field trip information, grade tracker, a more individual grade tracker, and you can write in the student's name. Anytime you see this flag, it's usually because that's indicating that's where you would put the student's name. The IEP, lesson plan, login information, meeting notes, memories made, monthly planning, monthly themes, notable students, observation notes, parent-teacher conference notes, parent-teacher conference schedule, professional development, progress check-in, resource list, annual review, monthly review, and semester review. Then routine checklists, school year goals, seating chart with the dot grid, semester overview, semester planning, small group information, special needs students, student birthdays, student health, student observation, subject planning, substitute information, substitute notes, supply wish list, task list, the big picture, transportation details, unit planning, volunteer information, weekly schedule, weekly overview, another weekly overview option, and then student profile. So those are all the inserts for the teachers. And here's the dark mode portrait option. This is gonna look a little different in dark mode, specifically for the grade, I wanna say, or no, not the grade. I don't remember which one it was. Grade tracker, you have less spaces, so that's what I mean. It varies a little bit based on the orientation and stuff, but I try to get it as you know, similar as possible, but you're gonna have like less spaces for memory keeping, and you know, I feel like that just kind of comes with the territory there. But those are the dark mode portrait. So you guys, we made it. Oh my goodness, I told you, lots to share today. So we have Homeschool Sidekick, homeschool inserts offered in both light mode and dark mode. You receive landscape and portrait with one purchase. Then we have Student Sidekick, and you receive both the Monday and Sunday start version of that in one purchase, and then the inserts for light mode and dark mode. Then we have the Teacher Sidekick. Oops, I did not mean to tap on, I didn't even like hit my iPad, that was weird. Okay, the Teacher Sidekick, teacher inserts, and then we have the back to school sticker set today. So tons and tons and tons of brand new academic products. And again, I showed you a little, you know, overview of how the inserts work, just in case you're not familiar with them. There's definitely going to be more, you know, there's going to be more academic themed products to come in the future, especially once the 2024 planners are released. You guys will see what I mean once all of that is happening. But yeah, it's it's a lot. Today was a lot, I know, but I'm super excited to be offering all of these fun goodies to you guys. And see, there's the portrait. So if you wanted to create your own little kind of planner, you have all the spots to mark each page and kind of piece together however you would like to. So that makes that really easy. And the single subject folders are available in several different colors at this point in my shop, and there's gonna be more added. Anytime a monochromatic kit is offered in a specific color, I always release the single subject folders to kind of go along with that. So this is the Rose collection. It's available in the shop along with several other colors like I mentioned, but I feel like it's perfect for inserts. But again, you can use inserts in, you know, for example, I've got my no frills, hang on, because I think I have some test products, yeah, that I don't want to share quite yet. But let's go, okay, so let's go in my no frills planner, okay. I've got a blank paper right here, so I could always insert a blank paper, and then this is landscape, so I would use a landscape, or you can use portrait too and just put two side by side. That's another option. In fact, I can show you guys that real quick. So say I want like 2 activities on one page, I could very easily do that. You just want to kind of size it to where you can kind of copy and paste and have them both side to side. And then if you need to, you can take them, this is kind of looking sloppy, but you can kind of, you see what I mean though, you can kind of put them side by side. If you want to do it that way, you can definitely do that. And then you can also use the landscape and pull that over and put the landscape insert on a blank page in your planner too. And the 1 month planners in the shop also have 10 blank sections that you can use inserts on. So lots of different ways to use it and everything. If you use a different planner system in general, there are no guarantees that the inserts are gonna fit as well, because, you know, it just depends. But it's so easy with digital products to like resize things and stuff. I just use different dimensions than other creators might use and things like that, so you might have to tweak it a little bit. But yeah, that is everything. All of the new products available in the shop as of today. So definitely check out the new releases section of the shop. That's where you're gonna find everything you saw here today. So check that out. Make sure you're really paying attention to the title of the product and everything like that. With digital products, there are no, you know, refunds and things like that. So make sure you're purchasing the correct item for you. If you need something homeschool, student, teacher, all of that. But you will find everything in the new releases section of the shop. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of these brand new goodies. It has definitely been a lot of work, but I am so thrilled to finally offer some academic products for you guys. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to catch all my future videos, and I will chat with you all later. Bye.